Knight,
Odin?
is thou worthy of this statue?
Well, I think so.
I witnessed the review of Mystique.
But wait a minute, did you see that statue?
'Twas a horrid piece.
'Twas. I mean, are you trying to tell me not to be honest?
Well, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Alright then. Alright, so why don't you sit back, enjoy the show, let me do my thing, and you may be surprised.
You have made your point.
Thank you.
Be excellent.
Alright, get this down here. Here he is. Alright, it's time for the review of Thor, the Sideshow premium format figure. Alright, man, glad to have this thing in the house. This thing is dope. Let me just start off by saying this is a badass statue. This thing is sick. There's one little issue I have with the statue, but overall, I would say this one gets my seal of approval as the best looking Thor out there. This thing is sick. It is a bad looking statue. All right, so before I get into anything, the one only issue I had with this was the skin complexion. You know, we came off and we told Sideshow when we were at San Diego Comic-Con, and we even spoke with Daniel Bell about it, and it doesn't look like they listened to us. That kind of annoys me a little bit, you know, because we know what we want, you know. And when we tell the company, hey, man, you know, something's wrong with the piece, it doesn't look right, then, you know, you should listen to us. It has kind of like a purple complexion, not quite Barney. Kind of like undeadish, you know, almost like, you know, The Walking Dead. But not quite that undead, you know, maybe like stage 1, you know, just before he gets the Resident Evil virus. So overall, I'm really happy with it. But before I really break it down, let's party on and unbox this. So I had to put this thing down on the floor. It's because the box is actually pretty large. So you want to make sure that you have plenty of space for you to be able to get it out. I'm going to start off with the body here. Let's get him out of the bag. And we'll take a look at what he looks like. There he is. There he is. It's looking pretty good as far as the details go, what I came to expect. That skin though, man. I don't know, man. I really love the sculpt. I really do. But, I mean, this is what we talked about with them when we were at San Diego Comic-Con. And we told them that the skin tone made it look a little undead. And yeah, it's exactly what I'm kind of seeing here right now. Alright, so let's keep on going. This is one of the horns of Surtur. See detail in there. This looks pretty good. I mean, the texture work, the paint application on this looks phenomenal. And nice work. One of Thor's hands. Nice detail there too. Same skin tone problem, but the texture and the sculpting is really nice. This is wrapped pretty well. That is a really good looking portrait. Nice job on all the texture work. I really like the look of it. The eyes looks fantastic, and the skin tone on his face looks really good. Doesn't have that same purpling from the looks of it. I guess we'll see how it lines up when you put it on. Really big key too there. Awesome. Alright, so here's another one of the flames, I guess, to go around it. Or lava flow or something like that. It looks good. Got more lava flow. Not bad. This is probably the most pieces I've seen in a Sideshow statue, I think, maybe. Usually the Sideshow statues are, you know, a few pieces go together and that's it. This one's pretty complicated in terms of pieces. More lava. I also like the amount of packaging foam that looks like they put into this. Protect it. So, even though I'm not a big fan of this style of packaging, I think they did a good job with protecting the statue. It looks like so far there are no broken pieces. So that's good. Alright, got a little more lava flow here. Alright, here's Mjolnir, and wow, this thing is cool. The hammer is huge, and the description is so detailed and easy to read. Whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. It's cool. Yeah, man, I dig it. Dope. Alright, and here's Stormbreaker. This is the more comic accurate version of Stormbreaker, not the one we've seen in the movie. Pretty smooth. Not much detail in that, you know, but still looks pretty cool. Dope stuff. The details on the hand are crazy, man. Look at that. I don't know if I'm catching it real nicely, but wow, the fingernails look realistic. Man, it's nice. And you get two little plates like this, which I'm gonna have to hunt for. I don't know what these are yet, so we'll just have to hunt for them and see what they do. Man, that is insane. Check that out. Look at the detail there. That is crazy. Really nice colors, really nice texture work. The base is cool. Base is pretty cool. Yeah, this is a really impressive looking base. Nice work there. Alright, so here he is, all assembled and ready for review. I have to say that the assembly process of this statue was awesome, really good. They've been taking notes, so each one of these pieces were color coded and everything goes into place real nicely. The only thing that I had a little bit of an issue with was getting the tongue in the mouth. There's like kind of like this slot that you have to put it in. It was a little bit weird. And I also feel that the hands fit in there a little bit loose. But other than that, it's really an easy process to put it together. I'm very impressed with this statue, I have to say. So I'm going to get some up-close pictures of it. Spend a little bit of time with it. Let it breathe in and marinate with me. And then we'll do a review. So stay tuned. Alright, Thor, the Breaker of Brimstone, sculpted by the impeccable Daniel Bell, one of the most amazing sculptors today. This is a fantastic statue. Let me just say that right off the bat. I fully back it up, in my opinion, even with the skin tone. So if you guys are watching this review right now, I would absolutely suggest, if you like Thor, go to Sideshow and go pre-order this piece. There's 1,500 of them, I think, in the exclusive, which comes with Stormbreaker, which I think is awesome. Although I do think that even in the regular version, having just the hand the way they have it in place, I think that looks good too. But having Stormbreaker is awesome. I think that would be the way to get them. So absolutely back it up. Go pre-order it. All right, so let's talk about this piece. So there's been a lot of Thor statues in the past, right? We've seen this guy done plenty of times. Now that he's been made more popular by Hemsworth's wink. Yeah, so since the rise of Thor in the movies and the Avengers, obviously he's been made more popular. So there's been other statues that you can take a look at on eBay now. There's the previous Thor premium format, which I've never been a real fan of. I didn't like the way the face looks, in my opinion. And then there was the XM Studios Thor, which I thought was okay, but this is the first Thor that I actually saw, and I was like, I say to thee, yay. Yes, I back this one up. I like this statue. Really cool, very dynamic. There's only a couple issues with it, one being the paint, and then the other one is the way that he's positioned with Surtur here. So, and I'll get into that. But overall, I'm really, really ecstatic with the way this thing came out. So let's get into it, right? So first up, the composition and what we're trying to display here. This has a lot of inspiration, I feel, from the movie, because you have him fighting Surtur. That's how the last Thor movie started. Even the box art of it reminds me a lot of the movie Thor Ragnarok. So I think there was a little bit of inspiration there, but obviously the overall look of this piece is based on the comic book version of Thor. So I think that's cool. So awesome job with that. Daniel is really good about getting anatomy down, the texture work down, just portraits. His style is fantastic. I love his pieces. I've already reviewed his Captain America. I'm going to review his Daredevil. I've seen his Black Panther. All of the stuff that he, releases always has a real cool, almost realistic feel to what are, but still holding true to the comic books. So it's kind of like comic book version come to life. And I love it. He does great work. So anything this guy comes out with, I'm always really want to jump at that and pick up. It always looks really good. So the base itself shows Surtur. He's been defeated. You got this lava flowing all the way around. It's very dynamic, very vibrant. The colors in there is fantastic. Lots of little blacks and oranges and yellows, and it's just a plethora of colors.
A what? A plethora.
Yes, I said plethora. So it's beautiful. It's really fantastic to look at. It's one of my more favorite bases that I've seen. Tells a story. Thor has just defeated Surtur, or he could be battling it out with Surtur. The only thing I could say about the composition here with that is that Thor's not looking at him, so I don't think he's actually fighting with Surtur. I think he's jumping over him to battle whoever's coming next, and that's how I feel about this whole piece. Another thing about it is that it doesn't really fit in with his other pieces. So like with Captain America, it's a lot more of a museum style pose. Same thing with Daredevil. He's kind of got a little more museum pose, where this one's very action packed. So I feel like it doesn't really fit well with those other guys, but it's still a cool standalone piece, in my opinion. For all of its size, it doesn't seem to be something that will be difficult to display. So let's see the overall size of this guy. He's about 15 to 16 inches wide. So obviously we're not going to get this into a detolf. So that's not going to work that way. It's about 14 inches deep or so. Yeah, about 14 inches deep. And then height-wise, probably to the hammer. Height-wise, you're looking at about 25 and a half inches to the top. So This will fit in the best, absolutely. Probably better in like a PAX where you can put them against with somebody else. So it's got a little bit of weight to it. I don't know the exact weight, but it's not overly heavy. It's just, it has some weight to it. It's not bad though. All right. Again, very dynamic base, beautiful look. Thor himself, awesome. Really dynamic, really cool. Awesome textures. I mean, the boots, the Under Armour that he's wearing, the outfit that he's wearing, all is very Norse inspired. You know, you can look into the pants right here, the texture work in the pants. I mean, it looks realistic. It just, I mean, that looks like what I believe to be, you know, a Viking type of clothing. You know, so I think that's cool. I love the armor here. This is done very well and painted very well. That's another thing too. The paint work, aside from the skin tone, I think is done beautifully. And it's very sharp. I didn't see anywhere where it's bleeding. There's no defects in it as far as I could tell. No scratches, nothing like that. I mean, it's beautiful. Yeah, I can't say that enough. The paint application on this is very nice. All right. This piece here, the sash, I guess is what we're going to call it, is like a plastic, so that you guys know. And then this is very flimsy plastic. So everything else, though, is resin or something like that, polystone. You know, moving up into where the chest is, I like that the chest area here has this leather type of feel, but then on the sides, there's like a different type of texture application. So there's nice contrast there. Really, really cool. Very neat. So now we get into the skin tone. Yes, the skin tone has a purple hue to it. There's no getting around that. I don't know why Sideshow chose to paint it that way. Again, when we were at Sideshow, or we were at San Diego and we spoke with them, we saw it like this in the display, and immediately that is what I had to say. You know, I was like, everything else looks great about the statue. Why are you painting it to look like he's undead? And they couldn't give me an answer. When I spoke to Daniel about it, you know, he was like, you know, I took it into account. The guy's, you know, very humble, and he always wants to hear feedback on his work. And granted, he's not responsible for the paint, but he said that he would talk to them about it, and obviously Sideshow didn't listen. So I feel that the skin tone has kind of an undead look to him, or he looks kind of like pale. So maybe a repaint to the skin would be something that you guys might want to do if it bothers you that much. I'm noticing right now with a lot of bright light on it, it's not that noticeable, you know, but it's still something that really draws me out. And I feel that, you know, straight up, I'm mad that Sideshow didn't listen to us, you know. I feel like we have a say in what we're buying, and they should pay attention to what we're doing, you know, or what we're saying. So anyway, other than that, the sculpt itself is great. The vein work in the arms, I mean, he looks really, really powerful, you know. Mjolnir looks really cool. I like that it's got the inscription there. It's extremely legible, so, you know, you can read it really easily. I love the way the gloves look. You know, I love everything about the sculpt. It's really cool. The fitment of the hands is very loose. I don't like that. The magnet feels a little bit strong, but I don't think the key is fitting in there perfectly, so it wiggles a little bit. And that's the same on both hands. This here is the exclusive, so you have Stormbreaker as your option. It's got this kind of bronze goldish appeal to it. It's very smooth, so there's not any texture work in there at all, but it's still a really nice addition. So it kind of looks like he's dual wielding both hammers, which is neat. And I think if you possibly had the Gatorade Bill statue to couple with him, I think that would be kind of cool. You know, have them both side by side. That'd be a nice little companion piece for it. If you get the regular version, you only have him with the hand out like that, which I also think is still cool. Has a lot of power. The hand itself, you know, he's kind of like twisting, or not twisting, but really like gripping his knuckles and everything there. So it has a lot of energy. The paint on the nails looks realistic. You know, everything there looks great. So if you got the regular version of the statue, or the collector's version is what they call it, it's still a cool statue. So I don't see why getting that would be a big issue. But I still think that this is one of those EX or fail things where you should get the one with the Stormbreaker. All right. His portrait, outstanding. I love it. Looks just like Thor, at least my idea of what Thor looks like in the comics. You know, looks really neat. Has a lot of energy, mouth open. He's screaming, getting ready to get into the fight like a war chant. And I dig that. So there's not too many pieces that I've seen where when the guy has the mouth open that it looks good. I think it looks good here. Now, people are saying that the teeth, you know, looks a little bit weird. I do feel that he kind of has like this like gingivitis type of thing going on there. Like it's almost like the receding gum line. You know, maybe he should floss a little bit more. But I still think that the paint on it, and you can, you know, everything about the way the face looks great. The eyes have this like gloss to them, look very realistic. The tongue has this gloss to it, so it looks wet. It looks very realistic. And you can see all inside the mouth, every little bit of the teeth. looks great. Love the way the hair flow is. Looks great. You know, nice sculpting there, and you can see a lot of strands of hair. You know, so it's very, very detailed. And then lastly, the cape. Like I stated before, I've never had an easier time posing a cape. So I think that this came out really nice. I love the way the material is. It's thick. It doesn't look cheap. And then it has this one wire running around the edges. So it gives you the opportunity to pose it the way you want to. And it's very easy to pose. So it looks really cool too from the back. I like all the folds, the way it comes out. This is the first statue that I could say that I like the way the mixed media looks with it. So, you know, I would recommend it all hands down. So that's my thoughts on it. I'm curious to hear what you guys think about the Thor Breaker of Brimstone. Are you picking him up? Do you have other Daniel Bell statues? Are you a fan of Daniel Bell? Do you enjoy my reviews? Are you waiting for my review to go get the statue? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, that's my opinion about it. I really like this statue. I can't suggest you guys to pick this one up enough. I really do like the way this one came out. So again, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit subscribe. Ding that bell to become part of the notification squad. You can catch all our videos at mcecentral.com. I'm going to be coming back at you with more statue reviews just like this. So stay tuned for all of that. And until next time, guys, keep it marvelous.